whatever works for you or whatever you feel comfortable with, just embrace it. I feel like a lot of people try to become something that they're not.
Yes.
And that's where I think you fall into problems. Like, if you're just a real smart person and you like be the next Mark Zuckerberg, like, go into tech, like you develop an app, do something to change the world. Don't try to be a street person. That's not who you are.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of It's Giving. I am your host, Sarah Fontenot, and if you have not yet, please click that button below. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification with each piece of content that drops. Now, look, today is a very special day because we are joined by a very special host. Not only has this man traveled all over the world, he's a part of an incredible group making a massive impact literally all over the world. I'm pretty sure they were just in London, going back to London, in Canada, in America, all over the place. He has a podcast. He's also a relationship guru, and we're going to jump into this. Can we please give it up for Rashad Bilal?
What's the deal?
Hi, how you feeling?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being willing to sit down on this here It's Giving couch.
It's giving.
Yes.
It's giving.
I have to ask you, if this season in your life were called It's Giving blank and you have to fill in the blank, what would it be called? And you have to say It's Giving.
It's giving optimism.
Okay.
It's giving optimism.
Break that down for me. You're optimistic about what?
Just the future, business and life and everything. I feel like, every day is a blessing.
Yeah.
You get an opportunity to be better than you was yesterday. So I'm very optimistic about, life and what it has entailed.
Yes. And you've done so much in these last few years. A lot of people know you through Earn Your Leisure and just the massive impact that you guys have done, the relationship that you have built, even the style, the drip, We know you got drip reports that you be doing, all these different things. What do you feel like people know you best for?
Earn Your Leisure, for sure. The platform. They watch us every week, whether it's on Market Mondays, whether it's on Earn Your Leisure, assets over liabilities, providing information in a way that people can understand and digest it and, help educate them when it comes to business and investing and empowerment. So that's definitely always, the main thing. And I think that that's what most people have come to recognize us for.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm hearing, if you guys at home hear this accent, you're from New York.
Yes.
And we want to hear about the man behind the business. What was that like? What part of New York are you from?
Well, I was born in the Bronx and I was raised in a town called Greenburgh, New York. Oh. So it's in the county of Westchester. It's like on the outskirts of New York.
Okay.
Like probably like 20 minutes north of the Bronx.
Okay.
So it's a real small, where we're from, it's a small, like blue collar working class town.
Okay.
And we all grew up together. All of our business partners, our partner Mike, Troy, and then a lot of other people that we have. So AB was our COO, and Bam, who's Mike's brother, and my sister, and a lot of people that's employed for the company. We all come from the same area. So we all grew up together. Everybody knew each other. Everybody's family knows each other's family and stuff like that. So it's like,
wow. That is crazy. Like literally, so you, Troy, Mike, you guys literally grew up in that same town?
Yeah.
So you've known them for how long? Like since you were how old?
Since I was probably I met Troy when I was probably around 12 years old.
Wow.
And Mike, I probably knew him a little bit longer. I might have met him when I was 10 or 11 years old.
So these are 20 plus year old relationships.
Yep.
Do you feel like that's what makes you guys having such a strong business palatable because you've been brothers for so long? This is like family now for real.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, we got a relationship outside of business. We had a relationship outside of business before we started on Leisure. We knew each other, obviously, our whole lives pretty much. And our families know each other's families and stuff like that. We play sports together. We grew up together. So that definitely helps because it's more than just business. It's not like we met just to make money. That was just a byproduct of our relationship that we already had.
Yeah.
So definitely, for sure.
Do people ever try to, because I think anybody that knows Earn Your Leisure, they know Troy and Rashad. They know Troy and Rashad. And they know Mike too, but I'm just saying who they see is Troy and Rashad on the podcast. Do people ever try to get you guys to split up? I saw a post that you did the other day where you said something along the lines of family is so much more rich than money, or something along those lines. Do you feel like people ever try to break the dynamic up?
No, I don't know. I mean, you never really know what people do. I can't speak on for what every single person deals with in their personal day-to-day life, but I don't think I don't think so. You know, people, they might have different things that might pull people in different directions. They might be doing it intentionally, or they might not be doing it intentionally. But there hasn't been like a established effort to try to break up the unit.
But do they give like opportunities to one of you, maybe not the other, or anything along those lines?
Yeah, for sure, and that part, that's part of it. But that doesn't necessarily break the group up.
Right.
But yeah, everybody's going to have different opportunities. I have some opportunities that they might not have. Mike might have opportunity that I might not have. Troy might have an opportunity that I don't have. So that just happens in life, right? Like, but like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a danger when it comes to the unit. But, of course, as you grow in life, everybody's not going to do the same thing.
Right.
Everybody's not going to be interested in the same thing, and
right.
everybody's not going to have the same opportunities. So, it's important not to be jealous of somebody's opportunities. And just, what's for you is for you, what's for somebody else is for them.
Yes. Have you ever struggled with that, or noticed like any boy, like especially you guys have taken off so fast? Have you noticed or felt or gotten any of those jealous vibes outside of the tight-knit circle from people you thought were your boys?
No, we don't really. I don't really communicate with too many people like on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people might have some negative energy, but that's not people that's in my circle. Like, people that's in my circle is only like a few people. So, and that's like, we just talk about business all the time. We just doing our day-to-day. So I don't really have too much of negative energy around me. I haven't really felt too much negative energy. Like I said, there's always going to be negative energy in the world, but that's from a distance, not like really close.
Yeah. No, I love that. And it's funny. It makes me think of, I was just having this conversation because I had a couple crazy experiences, and mostly because I allowed, or indoctrinated, I should say, new people into what I call my soul sister goddess tribe. I have a very small group of really incredible female friends. And I had allowed people to come in that weren't really necessarily vetted out first. And I learned that through that, it's almost like when you let people in, it's like they're creating a pathway for others to come in, or the drama to come in, or the negativity to come in. And I had to close my circle back up, but I've definitely learned through experience that, everybody that shows up is not necessarily your friend. Have you experienced any of that?
No, I mean, everybody that we already knew for 20 years.
That's crazy.
Years, so it's like, really
that's a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. We don't really have too many. I mean, of course, you meet new people along your journey,
Yeah.
but as far as like our inner circle of people, it's pretty much the same people like that we grew up with, that we knew forever. So it's not like we just bringing a bunch of new people into the mix. So our situation is a little different. Most people, like you said, they move different places, and geographically they have to meet new friends, or they move up in their careers, and they have to meet new friends because financially it just doesn't make sense to them to hang out. But we all grew up in the same area. We all stayed close to each other, and we started a business together. So we all grew financially together. So we never had to really, taint what we had. Of course, you always have issues just amongst friends, but that's just regular stuff that you're gonna have regardless.
Oh yeah.
But as far as like outside influences coming in, we don't really have too much of that. Like I said, we have business relationships. We have relationships with new people that we've just met recently. But as far as like the core structure, that hasn't really changed.
Oh, that's amazing. That's incredible. Okay, so you grew up in New York. You have this tight circle of men. You got your boys growing up with you. Were you a fighter growing up? Did you fight?
I used to fight when I was young. That's just part of it. Like, you're always gonna have the people that challenge you, especially like where we come from. It's like a real close knit community. So I'm not from there originally. As far as like, my family moved there. I wasn't like born there. So a lot of people, you're born there. You got your family, cousins, and stuff like that. So it's like, kind of tribal. So definitely, growing up, that was something that I had to kind of earn.
Yeah.
My acceptance and my respect. But just like normal stuff, like nothing excessive. But I definitely wasn't never, going to let like people bully me or anything like that. So you had to fight for people to respect you.
Yeah.
And after that, then you become friends with them. So
that's so true. I actually used to be a fighter.
Okay.
Believe it or not, my mom used to always be like, it's so unbecoming of a lady. But I was a tomboy until I was like 17, 18.
Okay.
I used to fight for real. For real. But it was only if necessary. Like, I wasn't just fighting for fun. You disrespect me on a high key level, you're going to never disrespect me again. That's how it was.
For sure. For
Sheesh.
sure. So, I think it comes with maturity too. Like, I used to be a lot more like hot headed when I was young.
Yeah.
Like, but, you got older, you kind of just, you become more mature, chill out. And, some things is not even worth it. It's not even worth going back and forth with somebody older. So, that kind of plays a part as well.
Facts. That's so true. Okay, so you're in New York, you grow up, you earn your respect, you become, have you always been like it's giving, y'all are kind of like the guys. You guys are like, everybody wants to get around the guys. Have you always been this way?
Yeah, for sure. I think growing up, I played ball. Like fashion was something I was always into my whole life. So always had the new sneakers and different in 11th grade, even before that, like 7th grade, 6th grade, I was going to shopping outlets and buying like Polo and Nautica and stuff like that. So it was a little different. A lot of people don't really care about fashion, but where we come from, that was something that you had to it was very important. Then my family, fashion was very important. My mom was into fashion. So I was always into fashion and stuff like that. And then, like I said, you playing sports, so you're going to get a lot of attention if you play sports. And then if you excel, if you become good at sports, then you're going to get even more attention if you become a star player. So, yeah.
Were you a star player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's giving star player energy. It just is.
So yeah, I feel like it was definitely something that you get attention.
Yeah.
You always it's a variety of different factors that could help you get attention. So I never was one that had to try to fit in. Mm-hmm. Always was kind of around energy that I was always already in the in crowd. I didn't try to be in the in crowd. I wasn't on the outskirts. So yeah, that was pretty consistent from being a young kid to where we are now.
So I do feel like right now we live in a world where a lot of men, either subconsciously or very much consciously, are seeking outward validation. And what I love about what you just said is you've never tried to fit in. You just are you, and you fit in where you fit in. Get in where y'all fit in, because I know me. How did you do that? How did you be, for the men that are listening at home or watching, how could they be like, yo, I'm going to start being like this today?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I feel like what your experiences dictate who you are. So a lot of it is just, it's fortune, to be honest with you. I was fortunate enough to have older siblings, and they have respect. So I was hanging out with their friends. I was moving at a much faster pace. When I was in 7th grade, I was hanging out with people. My friends was 18 years old when I was 13. These are my friends. I was hanging out with 20-year-olds when I was 14 years old. So, but you have some things that you have to work on. I had the ability to play basketball, but then I worked hard at it. So I became a star basketball player, and that helped. But there's other intangible things I knew that I always was going to have the girls always would like me. So that wasn't something that I had to try. I didn't try to I feel like now you try hard to try to impress women. That's really what it comes to. A lot of things is you try to impress women, but I never really had that problem. And like I said, the fashion is all that stuff. That kind of just was in me already from the environment that I came, my family and stuff like that. So honestly, a lot of it is just, just been blessings. I don't really know. I can't really give too much advice on it because I don't know how it is to be on the other side. It might be tremendously difficult if I wasn't in a variety of different factors that I was in. My whole life might have been different, or how I look at life might have been different if I was trying to fit in. So I can give advice, but it wouldn't be fully, I don't think it would be the best for me to give advice on that because I never went through it. So I am sympathetic for people that may have been less fortunate, or you know what I'm saying, or might not have the same opportunities, or might not have the same life that I had, and they was always picked on their whole entire life, or they was always trying to get on a sports team and never had any social circle, was always by themselves and never was part of a community, never had friends. That could affect you a little differently. So I could speak on what worked for me and what my life was, but I think it's difficult to try to put my life on somebody else's life.
Yeah. Ooh, sheesh. That was a bar. Live your life, really.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to embrace your life at the end of the day, right? Whatever works for you, or whatever you feel comfortable with, just embrace it. I feel like a lot of people try to become something that they're not.
Yes.
And that's where I think you fall into problems. Like, you know, if you're just a real smart person and you like be the next Mark Zuckerberg, like, you know, go into tech, like you develop an app, do something to change the world. Don't try to be a street person. That's not who you are, right?
Right.
Or if, you know, you have one relationship your whole entire life, that's a blessing. Like, you know, just do that. Be a family man. Don't try to be a player. Like, that's not who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I think that a lot of people with social media, they try to compare themselves to other people.
Yes.
And they try to, you know, put themselves in other people's shoes. And that's what causes problems, because it's like you're never going to be another person.
Right.
So you trying to be somebody that you're not, it's never going to be authentic, and you're never going to fit those shoes.
Right.
And it's actually going to lead to frustration, because the more you're going to try, the more you're going to realize that it's not working out.
Yeah.
And now it's just, you know, you just start to do even more things that's outside of your character, because now you try even harder.
Yeah.
So I think it's just important just to embrace who you are and just be confident and comfortable with who you are as a person.
That's so good. You actually reminded me when I've been engaged twice, right? And the second time that I was engaged, I was every hashtag. We were every hashtag on Instagram. We were Black love. We were relationship goals. We were power couple. But in reality, it was really quite toxic, right? And I feel like comparison will almost have you trapped in a life you don't even really want to live, right? I was so concerned about the perception of my life that I wasn't concerned about the reality. Now all I really care about is the reality. But back then, it was almost like the following, the people, the what people had to think about us almost mattered more than the fact that we were not in alignment and should not have been in that relationship, right? And so it's crazy how often we allow social media, we allow people, we allow biases, judgments to make us live a life that we don't actually want. So here's a question, because I know you're a relationship guru. I don't know whether it's self-proclaimed or not, but how do you feel in the society of today that it would make sense for people to find what is stopping people from being in beautiful, healthy relationships?
I think that not understanding yourself first.
Ooh, yes.
You gotta, you know, really take time to know yourself.
Yes.
Before you can actually, you know, invest time in somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's something that's extremely important. Like, you know, like know who you are, know what you like, know what you're good at, know what you're not good at, work on yourself. And when you're in a relationship, or when you're in there's always different types of relationships. It doesn't have to be a formal relationship. You talk to somebody, you date, a variety of different things. But once again, I think that not letting outside forces play a part. You have to be extremely careful not to let outside forces, you know, dictate how you feel about a situation. And that happens all the time. People's friends start to have conversations, and, you know, misery needs company.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you don't have anybody in your life and your friend has somebody, then subconsciously you might be trying to sabotage their situation to make them more like you.
Yeah.
You've actually lost somebody that you can hang out with, right?
Yes.
So now it's like you start to bring up things, or like you start to nitpick things, or did you see this on Instagram? And it's like you're bringing negativity to a person for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's not done from pure intentions. It's actually done to destroy their happiness.
Yes.
So you have to stay away from those type of people, because that's something that's extremely toxic.
Yes.
And you also have to not compare yourself to what other people are doing on social media. Like, oh, I gotta get married because my best friend just got married, or this person just got married. Like you say, you never know. They could be married and be completely, you know, their life is in shambles. And it might look good, but it's like you trying to rush to get into something, and your situation is actually better than their situation, but you're going to end up ruining it because you're measuring it by societal standards, or what you see on social media or Instagram. So I think it's just important to run your own race.
Yes.
Stay in your lane, not listen to what other people have to say. Just listen to what your heart says.
I agree 10,000%. And I will say, I need to say this to the ladies. Ladies, Kenny, is this thing on? Can you hear me? We're good? Right here. I need you all to hear this. Stop being negative about your friends' man. Stop telling your friend how she needs to do based on the people that she's dated in her past when she's not even happy in her own life. One of the things that I believe is our most beautiful opportunity as a friend, not as a sabotager, but as a friend, is to ask your friend, what is the result that you want? One of the things that we do in our tribe is we say, what is the result that you want? And are you willing to move in alignment with that? If your goal is to be married to this man, why would you stir up more drama? Why are you starting more toxic problems? Why are you doing all of these negative things? If your goal is to end the relationship, that's a different story. But if your girl is confiding in you that she's having troubles with her man, stop telling her to. The first answer is not leave that man, okay? It's not. So if y'all hearing it from me, it's not leave that sis. Stop. Get better friends that are going to challenge you because you might also be the problem. Okay, I just had to say that. Is that okay? I just got that off my chest. Sorry, guys. Back to you, Rashad. I could not agree with you more. I hear the stories from the jaded aunties and the jaded friends and the jaded it's like, God, can people just have love today?
For sure.
It's wild.
For sure.
So I have to ask you, do you believe in marriage?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to be married?
I think that you have to understand that marriage is something that it takes a lot of work and effort to happen.
Yes.
So it's not something that I think even the goal of like, I want to be married, I don't think that that's the most optimal way to go about it. I think the most optimal way to go about it is saying that you want to meet somebody that you want to really build a relationship with. Mm-hmm. Then you want to meet somebody you want to build a family with. Then you want to and once you meet that person, now there's a stepping process to actually getting married. Mm. When you try to work the opposite way, this is when you fall into problems because you never start with the end.
Right.
I never started a business and say, okay, I wanted to make $10 million with a business.
Right.
Because then you just compromise or do anything. I'll be selling napkins, whatever. It's like, all right, I want to make change. This is something that I'm passionate about. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but you work through the process, and that final destination might be $10 million, or that final destination might be $100 million. It might be $1 billion, right? But that's a final destination. It's not a starting point.
Right.
So I think a lot of the times you start conversations with the end, and in nowhere do you really do that except for like a relationship. Like you start with the end. Just met somebody a week ago and it's like you start having a conversation about marriage.
Oh. Did women do that to you?
No, I'm just saying just in general, just in life.
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's from society putting pressure on you, like this is what has to happen.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, let's get to know each other, let's do this, let's do that, and then ultimately if that's what's in the divine order, then that'll happen organically.
So as a man that is leading a relationship, I'm not going to say you, but just men in general, you don't feel like he should make his intentions known over time?
Of course, but over time is the key word.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That's fair.
And there's no time limit on that.
No, I mean, I think that everyone gets to move on their own time. Like what works best inside of that relationship. One person might be like, oh, I need to be married in 6 months. Another person might be like, I need 10 years. I know somebody right now that's been in a relationship for over a decade and they are not married. I'm not going to point any fingers or anything, but I could. So I say that to say that inside of relationships, I think that a lot of people, just kind of adding to what you were saying, I think a lot of relationships go wrong inside of the comparison thing because you think you're supposed to do it a certain way. But the only way that works, in my opinion, is the one that y'all create together.
For sure.
Yeah. So dating, being a successful, well-known, probably very sought after bachelor, how has dating been for you?
No, it's cool. It's not something that, you gotta realize too, like we work a lot. Mm-hmm. So, you always gotta keep the main thing. Mm-hmm. And, that can cause issues if somebody doesn't fully understand. Or just even if they do understand, it might just cause issues, right? So, everybody's life is different, but, the life that we live is different than most people. Like most people's not traveling all the time. Most people might have to work at 6 o'clock in the morning or might have to work at 1 o'clock at night. Like, it just depends. It just depends on the day. Like it's never really done until the work is done. It's not like you get off at 5 o'clock, so there's definitely a lot of benefits that's provided with that as well. It's not for every single person. So you have to ask yourself, like, if you are in a dating situation, a vibe with somebody that has that type of life, like, is it for you? You know, there's pros and cons with everything. So are you prepared to handle the downside as just like, are you prepared to handle the good side? Because there's not always going to be, you know, sunshine. You know, sometimes it rains. So, you know, I think that's extremely important for people to fully understand.
The most important. Yeah, you have to understand your person. Okay, so that been a challenge for you in the past? For you personally, like, do you feel like women understand, or do you feel like they kind of fall into place, or do you feel like it's a struggle?
It could be both. Sometimes somebody might understand. Sometimes they might not understand. Sometimes they might understand, but you might not be in the same alignment. Or sometimes they don't understand, and then it's like, you know, you have to kind of say, okay, well, you just don't understand. Doesn't make you a bad person,
Right.
but it's not something that it makes sense to kind of, you know, go forward with if it's not going to be a same level of equal understanding.
I love that. So, looking at, Earn Your Leisure, all the new things that are coming up, you guys have some new things that are stirring up. Can we talk a little bit about the new things that are stirring up?
Yeah, for sure.
What's that look like for you?
We got a bunch of stuff. So, you know, we currently on tour with our show Market Mondays. So we got in the year in Ghana on December 27th.
Have you been to Ghana before?
It's my first time.
I've never been to Ghana. I really want to go. That is wild. My friend just shot a movie. We do these skits together, and she was in Ghana. She shot a movie over there. She said it's one of the most beautiful places that she's ever been.
Dope.
You do a lot of traveling?
Yeah, we travel all the time.
What is your favorite place that you've been?
Ever?
Yeah.
I like Thailand a lot. I had a good time out there. London is a good place for us. That's good vibes out there. Paris is cool too. I used to live in Hawaii, so that was a good experience.
Lived?
Yeah, I went to school there.
What? Like 4
2
years?
years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Nice. Which part of Hawaii?
I was on the Big Island.
Oh.
But I traveled to like a couple of different islands while I was out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different. But yeah, I mean, at top of my list right now, the experience that I had was definitely Thailand was a good experience.
Did you feed a baby tiger?
Yeah, I did the whole tiger thing.
Did you wash an elephant?
I rode an elephant. Yeah, I did all of that.
You did all of the
whole animal park thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's dope. I went to an animal sanctuary. It's actually in, like, kind of outside of Orlando. You have to drive. And I fed a baby tiger. And when I tell you, and I posted pictures about it, people are like, it's abusive to the animals. I was like, this is a sanctuary. Guys, chill out. Oh my goodness. But people just try to be mad about anything and everything.
Yeah, for sure. No, you definitely have to be careful about. There's a lot of sensitivity when it comes to these animals.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes you're not fully educated on it, and you don't really know. But
right.
There's a lot of people that are very passionate about animals, and they definitely will let you know if you do something that's not in line with, you know, what they think is correct.
Yes, I'm learning. Especially, well, it started with, I'm in skits with a guy named Country Wayne, right? And he gets hundreds of really millions of views each day. With each skit has like hundreds of thousands of views on it. And I learned from there, no matter what, people are going to label you, talk about you, talk crazy about you, whatever it may be. But for that, it was a character, so it wasn't as bad. Then I got into podcasting. And podcasting, what I found is, no matter what you say, someone's going to find an issue with what you say. And so my biggest lesson for myself was, no matter what you say in any platform, just make sure that it's your truth, because people are going to eat you alive regardless. Have you experienced the being eaten alive context of being a public figure?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you say stuff and people don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And it's a controversial topic.
Very much so.
So, you know, most of our topics aren't really too controversial, but from time to time, we touch on some things that, you know, invoke strong emotions. So yeah, definitely, for sure. I definitely, you know, have witnessed and experienced that.
How do you deal with it?
You know, what can you do? You know, everybody's gonna have different opinions, you know. Yeah. So sometimes you go back and you might clarify it a little bit more, or you might add a little bit more context to it, like in a caption under the Instagram post, or sometimes you just let it rock and just, you know, it usually blows over though. That's the thing. Like, people have short attention span, so, you know, even if you get like the worst hate in the world, in a couple of days, it's not, it's not really even thought about anymore. So
Yeah.
usually always blows over that those type of situations when people just have, a strong backlash to what you have said. But at the very least, is good engagement. I feel like if you could create something that creates strong emotions in people, then that's a good topic.
I just did a video. Actually, I have a couple of them right now that they're going a little haywire. Mostly because one video I said that men have become much more sassy these days. And by sassy, what I mean is they say things like, "I'm the prize." Now, I believe we're both the prize. I don't think it's a them or a me. I think we're all the prize. You know what I mean? And there's levels to prizes, right? When you go to the exhibition or the fair, there's like the little cute little guppy toy, and then there's the big bear, So there are levels to prizes, but we are all absolutely a prize. When I tell you, Rashad, I am being eaten.
So what are they saying?
Oh, most men have, okay, let me tell you the real. They're saying, we are the prize. There's more men than there are women, or there's more women than there are men. And I know you have a philosophy on this. They're saying that successful men they don't come by very often. They're saying that I am the prize because how do you even create more life when, if we're not here? They're saying that, women raise the men that we're calling sassy. They're saying all kinds of things, which there's truth to a little bit of everything that everyone is saying. However, it's not an either or conversation. It's a both and conversation. It's more inclusive than it is divisive.
Okay.
So what is your opinion? Do you feel like men have become more sassy these days do you think it's sassy to say I'm the prize?
For me, I was like, we from like real, like of an old school type of environment. And
Yeah.
the people that I was raised in really talk a lot, So I feel like a lot of people just talk on social media unnecessarily. Like I talk because this is what I do for a profession. But if I didn't do this for a profession, I probably wouldn't be on social media at all. I don't see any value in it. For me personally, if I wasn't actually making money from it, like I always looked at life like if I'm making money from it, I was always like on a hustler type of vibe. I wasn't really just on like some controversial and just start topics and debates and stuff like that. So what I do feel like on social media with a lot of men is everybody just has like a variety of opinions and everybody's like talking, and it's not really necessarily helpful or beneficial or needed. So I don't really understand that dynamic of it. Like I feel like, you just do what you do. Like, like I feel like there's a lot of entertainment that's on social media that, that's not really how I was kind of brought up. Like, I don't really like understand that too much. So that's not our vibe. Like, we're not really from that type of environment where you just start talking about anything and should a woman split the bill for the first meal and Like, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own freedom and free will, and everybody has their own views on life, and it's okay to kind of state your view or debate your view. But I just feel like we're in a day and age now where people talk too much.
Yeah.
Especially men. I feel like there's a lot of men that just talk a lot. And like I said, that's not something that I never really understood that aspect of it. It's like you only talk if you really have something to say, or you're going to benefit from talking, or somebody's going to benefit from you talking. Just talk recklessly for no reason, and you're not making any money from it. Nobody's gaining any real value from it, and you're not gaining value from it. To me, it's just a waste.
It's happening every day on social media in these comment sections.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to go online and to just debate with a stranger. Like I said, to me that's why we don't do that. Like I don't debate with somebody from Idaho that I'll never gonna meet ever in life. To each his own. To each his own. Everybody's different. So.
Yeah, that's facts. That is so true. So speaking of social media and speaking of relationships, would you post your significant other on social media?
I mean, it just depends on the vibe, but I don't feel like, once again, I think that's another thing. Like you fall into pressure to do things because of just that. Like just that question is shaped in a norm, and I think that's kind of even a toxic way to go about it. Like, should you post somebody on social media? What does social media mean?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But
I'm not posting.
No, but it's become a validation of sorts. It's become a validation of sorts, and it's like in the grand scheme of things, 99% of people on social media that follow you don't know you.
Facts.
They're not your like. I would be concerned if I was with somebody and they didn't bring me around their friends.
Yes.
Or I never met anybody from their family. Or it's like, that to me would be a red flag, not them posting me on social media. People, think about it. You could be with somebody and they could take you to you can meet their mother. Mm-hmm. You can meet like their best friend, people that's really important to their life. And they'll be mad because you didn't post them on social media.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense.
I agree with you.
Like, what's more important?
Yeah.
Getting posted on social media to people that nobody knows, or actually being introduced with trusted people that really know you. Yeah. That's really going to give you feedback. It's really going to judge you if they don't think that you're doing the right thing. So I'm not opposed to people putting things on social media. That's not what I'm advocating. But I'm just saying that's something that has become a toxic situation that hurts relationships as well. Yeah, we gauge in relationships off of if you post somebody on social media or not.
I'm not posting. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, I posted the last time I posted. I was engaged the second time, and then I recently in my experience over the last few years, I dated one person. This person was on me to post him on my social media. I was like, I don't post. I don't want to post. I don't want to post. I don't post. I'm private. You've met everyone in my family. You've FaceTimed with my parents. I don't want to post. And he used to say, man, girls used to press me about them putting me putting them on my page. And now I feel like I'm the girl asking you to post me on your page. I don't want to post. And I feel like
even like that, to me, that's an uncomfortable environment that's being curated, because it's like, if you forcing me or you asking me to post you on social media, you have an alternative. Yeah. You have something that you're trying to get off that's not pure. Yes. So it's like, it's just a vibe. If a photo goes up, a photo goes up, but I'm not intentionally going to meet a demand that isn't important. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's a conversation that's being had, then that's an unimportant conversation. Yeah. That's something that there's an issue within alignment.
Yeah. Well, I ended up posting, and then we fizzled out really quickly after. And I feel like inside of, like, if you are posting based on an insecurity, instead of just posting from somewhere that's pure, like, look, this is my relationship, I'm just letting y'all know what's going on. But if it's based out of an insecurity, then it almost heightens and enlightens that insecurity even more when you are posted, because now, on top of already feeling insecure in the relationship, now you have the pressure that other people know that you're in it. So it almost makes it worse by posting on social media when it doesn't come from a genuine, real, aligned place, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, the best things in life are private. Ooh. Like, the best things in life are just not for the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things, like, even like, we post a lot on Instagram, but there's many moments that the world doesn't see.
Yes, for sure.
And it's not meant for the world to see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, some things is just meant for that moment to happen. Mm-hmm. You know it, and whoever else is involved in that moment knows it. Mm-hmm. But it's not meant for, like, random strangers to know.
I agree. I'm with you on that, 10,000%.
So I don't knock it, whatever you want to do, but I don't feel like you should be pressured into doing something. It's just a vibe. Like, you know, if the vibe calls for it, then the vibe calls for it. But ultimately, I just be prepared, because there's a lot of negativity that comes with that. It's like, everybody's not happy for you. People are going to start, you know, trying to tear situations down and different things of that nature. So it's like, just be careful with that, because, you know, it's not always, you know, what it seems.
We just had someone on the pod not too long ago, and he said how men are always trying to one-up men, and that sometimes when you do post your significant other, men will shoot their shot just to get a one-up on you. Do you think men do that?
I don't know. I'm not around those type of men. I don't do that. I would never do that. I don't mess with people's relationships. So, you know, I wouldn't try to. That's not how we wasn't raised like that. I don't try to talk to somebody's girlfriend, especially like if they post on social media. Like, that's creep behavior. Like, I'm not going to see somebody post someone and then go to that person's page and immediately try to talk to that person after they was just posted. Like, that's kind of weird to me. So
I agree.
I'm sure all kinds of stuff happens. It's a weird world that we live in. Mm-hmm. But I'm not around that type of energy. People that I'm not around, they don't do that.
You know what I'm hearing so strongly? Circle of influence matters. And everybody doesn't, that's not going to say they don't matter, but they may not matter to you, right? I feel like until you get really clear on who you are, like you said, that self-awareness to begin with, and who it is that you want to be, and only, like, it just sounds like you're so shielded.
No, for sure. I don't
Like you
have time
kind of
like
live
that.
in
Yeah,
a bubble, I
for
feel
sure.
like.
Not very isolated. I don't really know. Like I said, I know I'm aware of what happens in the world, but
Yeah.
I don't really interact with too many people. So it's just like a small circle, and that's it. And I
Yeah.
feel like the larger your circle gets, the more opportunity there is for tomfoolery to make its way in. So
Not
you know,
tomfoolery.
yeah, we don't try to just stay focused.
Yeah.
Stay focused. That's it. That's the biggest thing. Like your attention is extremely important. All this other stuff is a distraction.
Yeah.
So you gotta stay focused. So just try to surround ourselves with good people.
Yeah.
That we talk about like real stuff. Like like let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. Like let's buy a building. Let's figure this part out. Like let's try to make some more money. And other low level type of situations, I might be cool with people, but I'm not bringing that energy in. Like I'm not having a phone conversation with someone. I'm not even gonna be close enough to even know. I might hear something from somebody else that might tell me, but that'll be like 3 people removed. Like I'll never be close enough to be around that type of.
Ooh. It's giving intentional. It's giving clarity is power. It's giving you don't mess with the low vibrational stuff. But it's no wonder why you're on such a high vibration.
For sure.
It's giving y'all the cool kids. It's giving cool kids for a reason. It's yeah. This is I hope that everyone that is listening is hearing how many lessons you're speaking inside of what you're saying, because it's not business, it's essence, it's being. And that's a different level of teaching and a different experience of person when they know who they are and they only operate with what they operate inside of based off of what they see for themselves.
For sure.
That's a superpower.
For sure.
You might be, come
Superhero.
on, action figure. Yeah, let's go,
Superhero.
superhero. Who knew?
Who knew?
Let us find out, Rashad Bilal. The drippy superhero. It'd be called Drip.
Dripman.
Dripman. Did we just come up with a superhero?
Come in a puddle.
What does a puddle mean?
That's the drip.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do. That's good.
Yeah.
Comes in a puddle, but like the fake one, right?
No, you know how like they like morph. It's like I could just transform into water and then just appear in a puddle and then like turn into a solid person.
Is there a superhero like that? I feel like I've seen this.
I don't know, but that would be a good Marvel character.
Right?
Dripman.
Dripman.
Moves. Carry an umbrella.
And it could almost be like a cane where you have like the cool walk.
For sure.
You're tall, so it'd have to be a big umbrella.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to shift gears here a little bit. I'm here for Dripman, let me tell you right now. So we have a part in the show where we say, I give you an option, right? I ask you a question, and based on the question, you have to tell me something negative or something positive based off of the options that I give you. Okay, so now that I've learned so many more things about you today, here we go. Oh, you're on a first date. Let's say, you're on a first date and you forgot your wallet and you forgot your phone. So you have no way of paying for this really beautiful date that you went on. And the girl that you brought said, there's no way I'm paying for this dinner. I don't pay for dinners. It's giving, I'm going to wash some dishes, but this is the last date we're ever going to be on. Or it's giving, a pampered princess.
It's given a combination of both, but probably the last date, because I feel like if it's a real person, then mistakes do happen. So they will probably, even if in their mind they like, I'm never gonna go out with this person ever again, as long as it's a reasonable, it's like $1,000. But if it's like, a reasonable amount of money, I feel like they would understand that and they would pay.
Yeah. Maybe you left it in the Uber. Maybe it fell out in the Uber.
Like I said, that's never happened to me before, but I have gone places. I've gone shopping before and got to the cash register and then I don't have my wallet. So that is something that could potentially happen. And I think if explained, I think that, some grace should be given.
Okay. That's great.
What do you think?
Oh, that'd be the last date for sure.
But would you pay?
Oh, I for sure would pay.
Okay.
But also, number one.
But I would give the money right back. Like, whatever it costs, as soon as I got to my phone or whatever. Or if I had my phone, I would just cash app the person. Like, look, I'm going to cash app you. Or if I didn't, I would make sure that I reimbursed the money, like, same night.
Yeah.
So they know, like, it's not, I'm not trying to pull a fast one. I legitimately lost my wallet.
Yeah. I feel like the only issue that I could see why a woman wouldn't do that is if she's going on a date she couldn't afford. And I think that's a different, like, are we like, and maybe this is, maybe not the best way to say it, but, and there's no shame in any game. Like, get it how you live it, ladies, whatever makes sense for you. But are you going out because you just want another dinner, or are you going out because you actually like that person?
Dinner scammer.
What's a dinner scammer?
You don't know what a dinner scammer is?
No.
A dinner scammer is somebody that goes on dinner dates to eat dinner with no intentions of pursuing anything. They don't like the person, but they go on dates so they can go to good restaurants and eat.
Like often?
Yeah. It's become a thing.
Everyone in here is nodding, guys. Everyone, the whole team is like, yeah.
Dinner scammers. Stay away from dinner scammers.
Yeah. Stay away from, what is that called? I stamped that message. Stay away from dinner scammers. That sounds terrible. This is why men are saying it feels so transactional in the dating pool today.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm. Be careful, gentlemen and ladies. Watch yourselves. Dinner scammers are real. Okay, so are you ready for another question? Mm-hmm. You're on a date with your girlfriend, okay? And a man inappropriately touches her.
Inappropriately touches her? Like what? What is it? What happens?
Maybe he smacks her booty. I don't know. Let's say a man inappropriately touches her and she, like, comes and runs to you and now you guys are on the sidewalk. It's giving, get behind me. I got this. I'm going to let you know about this thing. Or it's giving, come on, babe, let's go. We're going to walk away. It's smarter and safer to be away from this tomfoolery, in your words.
Yeah. I think you got to address the situation.
Oh.
For sure. Like, you got to address the situation.
What does that look like for you? You'd say something?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
You're like, I feel like you're so low key, Rashad, but I feel like there's probably, that thing on the inside, the monster on the inside. Like, I feel like maybe that's in there somewhere.
Nah, for sure. But I don't think, that type of situation, I've never seen that happen before. So it's one of these hypothetical situations. But yeah, I just look at that as just being disrespected, period. Yeah. So it's like, that it doesn't matter who it is. It's like if you're with your kid and somebody smacks your kid. Oh. It's a similar situation. What are you going to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? You really have no choice but to address the situation. You got to do something. Like, you can't not do anything. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, but people are crazy.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta be able to address it in a situation in a manner. You gotta be prepared to kind of figure this out on the fly. There's really no set template of what you do, but you gotta do something.
Touche. Okay. Also, side note, because you said your kid, I know you're a dad. Mm-hmm. Are there? Do you ever feel like going after your dream can make you feel like, dang, I really wish I could bring him out more or do more?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're away, then that's time that you're not going to see, time you're going to miss, different things of that nature. So of course, you want to kind of be involved as much as possible. But there's also sacrifices that have to be made for everybody to be successul, including kid. So it's it's never a perfect world that we live in. Unfortunately, there's always going to be something that has to suffer for something else to thrive. Yeah. So you just try to do the best job that you possibly can, and make sure that the time that you do spend is valuable, and you stay connected, and you have that relationship, and stay in constant contact. But as far as there's definitely things that suffer when you're not there all the time.
Mm-hmm. As a successful man and as a father, how do you do you ever feel like, dang, I really like, do you ever have not a regret, because that's too strong of a word, but do you ever, like, how do you battle the feeling of being like, I wish I could be at XYZ, but I gotta work?
No, it just is what it is. I mean, really, no point in really thinking about something that you can't control,
Powerful.
or you can't change.
Yeah.
So unless you can change it, or you can control it, then there's no need to dwell on it.
Yeah. Powerful. Okay, another question. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a good one. Okay. Ready to go. I just lost my question. See, these guys. Oh, okay. I feel like I know the answer to this question after this whole sit down. A woman that is interested in you and you are interested in her tells you that she believes in being monetarily provided for by her man. Now, provision is more than just monetary. We know this, but I'm talking specifically to monetary. As in, she pays no bills. It's giving, homegirl, I just met you. Let's build a relationship. Or it's giving, you know what, I think you're right, and I would love to do that for you.
Yeah, I mean, you can say anything. Everybody has an opinion. Yeah. Are you asking me, like, if I meet somebody, how are you phrasing this question? Because everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
So if you say, like, I think that a man should pay for everything.
Yes.
That's your opinion.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't change anything about me, though. That's what you think.
I love this.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So that's...
Okay, let's phrase it as a question. If she says, if you want to date me, you have to monetarily provide for me.
Well, I'm not paying every single person. I'm not paying a person's bill that I don't know. That's not intelligent.
What if you're in a relationship?
Well, that changes, right? Because obviously, if you've invested time, if it's a year, 2 years, like if you are in a full-blown relationship over the course of time, sacrifices have been made, then that just happens organically. It's not something that, you have to, like, if the person is able to do it, then that's going to happen organically.
Yeah.
If you live with a person, right, then that automatically, you're not paying for overhead.
So you don't believe in a 50-50 household?
I believe in whatever is reasonable for the people in a relationship. We live in a society where very few people can afford to pay 100% of the bills.
Touche.
And that's not an environment that I was raised in. Now, everybody's situation is different. And if you're blessed financially, that you are in a situation where you're able to do that, then that's a blessing. And I think that people can make contributions to a relationship other than monetization. So if the woman is not paying any bills, well, there's a variety of other things that she can do to add value.
Absolutely.
I don't think that anybody should just be doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you're taking advantage of the situation. So it's like if we're partners, you don't have to pay for the rent or for the mortgage, but it would be beneficial if you cooked, or it would be beneficial if you cleaned. It would be beneficial if you helped in a variety of other different factors that could make the situation easier. Since you're not paying for anything financially, now let's work together and let's help each other.
Do the women that you date usually cook?
Well, we go out a lot. We travel and we go out a lot. So I'm not really in a domestic environment that really even lends itself for cooking. So
for a special lady that could possibly be watching, listening when this drops, what is your favorite dish to eat?
I have a variety of different food that I like. I don't really have a favorite dish, honestly. I like fish a lot. So all kinds of different fish. Dover sole is like my favorite fish now. I've been eating a lot of Dover sole lately. I got turned on to that when I was
This is a well-traveled man right here, okay? He didn't say branzino. He didn't say salmon. He didn't say sea bass. He said Dover sole, okay? He has been some places. I just shout out to you, okay? Back to you. So you enjoy some Dover sole.
Yeah, Dover sole. Yeah, I'm a food snob.
Oh.
So I like high-end cuisine.
Yeah. So what if she cooks and it doesn't taste good?
Then her food doesn't taste good. It's not a deal breaker. Oh no, it's not a deal breaker. I don't think
Oh.
it's a deal breaker. Like I said, I'm not even in an environment where
I'm talking about future.
oh, I don't think that if you really involved with somebody and you like them and you rocking with them, and you know that I don't think that somebody not being able to cook is something that's going to make or break the situation. If that's going to make or break the situation, then it's already broken.
Period. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. If it is just about cooking and cleaning, the relationship is already broken.
But like I said, it's about effort though. The cleaning is not necessarily the most important thing, but it's like it's an act of service, and it shows that you care. So it's little things that go a long way.
Yeah, I agree. 10,000%. Rashad, you have come and blessed us today. You have blessed this platform. I hope you come back.
For sure.
I'm excited to get Troy here. I'm
For
excited
sure.
to get Ab here. I'm excited to get Mike. And look, we're going to get the whole squad on at this point.
Let's do it.
We should do a round table talk. I'll get some ladies. Y'all gentlemen can come, and we're going to record everything.
Let's do it.
Are you for real?
Let's do it. Red table talk.
Red table talk.
Red table talk.
Yeah. Okay, so final question that I have to ask you. I love my team because they just made it very clear that I forgot this part. I am an avid reader. And if I'm not reading, I'm listening to a book. I feel like growth and evolution is the key to happiness, right? And the more I learn, the more I know that I know nothing at all. Not the point. The point is, I would love to know what book has changed your life and why.
4 Agreements.
It's a great book.
Never take anything personal. Agreement number 2. Something that, I definitely, when I read it and I fully understood it, it changed my life because previously, you hold grudges and you take things personal, and when you realize like it's not even about you, it's about the other person, and it's not beneficial to hold on to things and to take things personal. That helped me, just be a much more calm person and just move through life and be better at dealing with people, relationships, and communication and stuff like that. So that was definitely something that was a life-changing book for me, for sure.
I love that. I love that book. That is actually the book I recommend to anyone on their personal development journey if they have not read it. Those 4 Agreements, it's a contractual thing that you make with yourself on a spiritual level, and it is absolutely game-changing. So amazing. Thank you again so much. We're going to have you back because now I got it on camera that he said it. So we're going to have you back. So grateful for you coming on today and blessing the audience, blessing this platform. You taught a lot inside of just telling your story. So thank you for that. And for you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not yet, make sure to click that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you get a notification with each piece of content that is dropped. And if no one has told you today, you are phenomenal. Bomb.com, nothing can stop you but you got to do something about it. Thank you guys. Bye.